Hey friends, welcome to Season 7, Episode 3 of Gemma Darling Daily. I'm your host Danielle, and I know you have never seen me this often. I hope you're enjoying it. We're going to kind of wing this podcast. I wanted to come to you with something today because I didn't get my vlog up on Monday. But I really just, the vlog this weekend was so bad. Like, I just didn't feel 100%, and I looked at the footage and I was like, this is crap. So I was like, better just to say sometimes, I'm sorry, I failed, I didn't do it. Anyway, we're just gonna look through some of my whips today. I don't have any finished objects, I didn't cast on anything new, and I didn't get any new yarn. So, great podcast, great off to a great start. But there are some things that I love that I have to finish, and I kind of need to like hold myself accountable, so we're gonna go through that. First off, I don't know if you saw in one of my vlogs, we are under like an ant invasion in my house, and it's only on this wall. It's only this side of my house because there's a tree that my neighbors have, and they really need to cut down this tree. It's like infested. And our dining room, I mean, I'm like constantly fighting them with peppermint oil because we don't want Pooper to get sick, so I don't want to spray chemicals. But I was reading on a lot of these websites that they don't like cinnamon, they don't like peppermint, and I love peppermint. I'm always spraying this Simply Green peppermint to clean everything, and it is keeping everything at bay. But lately, there have been a couple on like the ceiling in my attic, and I'm like freaking out. And all of my yarn is in plastic. It's all in bins, except for like a little couple bits that are like out, but I would never like destash those. That's my stuff. So any stuff you can just rest assured, I'm gonna have a destash in a couple weeks, and everything has been in plastic. Okay, but I just wanted to take a moment to talk about essential oils. I don't know a lot about essential oils, but I buy a lot of them through Thrive Market, and I love peppermint essential oil. It helps my headaches. I sometimes put it through a diffuser. We went to La Sera one time, and I bought this. It's an ornament, actually. It's a peace sign, and it's a peppermint diffuser. Well, it's whatever you put on it. And so I'm gonna put that here in the attic. Oh my God, I love peppermint essential oil. Oh my God, it smells so good. It smells so good. I love it. So I'm going to put that here. I came up here to the attic and it was like so cold up here. So I put on my knit collage sweater that I made last year. See, it's got a pink bum and the pink sleeves to match. I could have just showed you those instead of my bum. But I'm sweating now. Like, I'm literally sweating. And so that's why I think a lot of times when I make knit collage sweaters, I make them into coats because they're so heavy. I can't wear one that's not a cardigan because it's just like, I don't like not being able to like open it a little bit, but they're so warm. Oh my God, they're worth your weight in gold. And I really think that if you guys haven't already, you should definitely join the knit collage knit along next season. I think spring is coming up soon, and they're doing their photo shoot this weekend. I'm so excited to see the photos. I love to see like the new designs because, you know, you think after a while, oh, there's nothing new that they could really do. And then they come up with something totally new. And it's like really, I find it really inspiring. I love it. And I'm loving watching everyone love everything that Vanessa is designing because she's just a master. She has so much in her head. I'm so proud of her. Anyway, let's just put some of these essential oils on here. I don't know how to do this. I think it's like you just, look at the peace sign. It's so cute, right, guys? Peace. So Penny Lane. We're so Penny Lane here at Gemma Darling Daily. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love this. I'm gonna have to go back there and get like a bunch of these. It was a tiny little unassuming greenhouse in this, it's almost on like an off-ramp bridge in Totowa. And it's not far from where I live, and they revamped it a couple years ago. This new person bought it and made it into, it was like Oliviera Gardens or something, and now it's La Sera. And La Sera means greenhouse in Italian, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, the amount of tchotchkes, if you haven't watched my vlogs, I always go to La Sera. And the woman who owns it, Lisa Marie, is such a kind soul. She really is. I love going there and just giving her all my money. But they had these there. I got a heart for the girls' room, and I got a peace sign for myself. I think I'm going to go back and get some more of them because I love it. I love peace signs. So we're going to hang this up and hope that all of the ants are like, oh, I don't like that. So, peace. All right, so we should get down to business. Again, I really have no business calling this a knitting podcast. There's not much knitting, but let's talk about peace signs. We were talking about my peace sign cardigan. Oh, there's a theme going on. I don't know. I feel like I'm regressing to who I was when I was like 19, and I love it. So I finished the peace sign. I think it looks great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. On my last cast, I called it Intarsia. It is not Intarsia. I did it in color work. So if you want to see the inside, you can see it. It's all color work. Which in Knit Collage does make for a very, very thick panel on the back. So again, if you're making something in Knit Collage, especially if you're going to do it like this, because usually I believe a lot of their patterns are Intarsia, which would keep it one layer. In this case, you know, because the yarn is really expensive, I'm sure they try to make it so that you're not like wasting yarn on floats. But I think Intarsia like messes with my head and I can't like wrap my head around it. So I just did it how I know how to do in color work, and it's actually soft as a pillow. So I'm really happy about it. Not happy that I wasted like yardage on these discontinued colors, but you know what? I love this sweater. It's gonna be like a cute little bomber. So I'm trying to figure out like how to bind off on it. I'm really, really happy at how the peace sign came out. It's a little, you know, more circular than I wanted it to be, but that's what happens when you don't swatch. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what to do for the hem here. It says to bind off, you know, loosely in pattern or whatever. Or you can add a rib so it doesn't roll. And I was trying to figure it out because it's 72 stitches. And I was like, I like when it, oh God, now I fuzz on my eyelashes. I like when it starts with the same stitch that it ends in. If you have an even number like 72, you're gonna start on a knit and you're gonna end on a purl. So if you do like knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, you're gonna end in a purl 2, which means that one side of your jacket's gonna have knits in the end and one side's gonna have purls. I just don't like that. I like symmetry. So I sat there with the numbers the other day and I figured out how to do it so that I could start with a knit and end with a knit. And what I'm doing with the 72 stitches is a knit 1, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, and at the end I'm just going to knit 1. So both sides will have a knit 1. I basically took the knit 1 from the beginning and split it onto both sides. And for me, that will create something, you probably can't even see it, so it's probably extraneous that I even tried to figure that out. But for me, in my head, someone who has a slight bit of obsessive, it's not OCD obviously, but it's like an obsessive nature for symmetry, it'll make me feel better that the whole thing is symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is bind off probably about 6 rows of that, and it'll give me a nice thick band, and then I'll bind off loosely in pattern, probably with the, I don't know, tubular. I'm going to do a tubular bind off. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I've never done it in Knit Collage. I don't know how it'll look, but I know that when I use it on my other things, it looks like it just ends and it just rolls around, and I love it. I love my mini Yetis. Guys, the mini Yetis, they're so great. 1 second, I need a drink, sorry. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for my bind off. And so hopefully I'll get to start the sleeves this week. I do bind off whenever I do a rib. I go down a needle size. So I knit this on, did I do a 17 or a 19? Oh, here we go. This is a 17. So I'm going to bind off in a 15 because it will just kind of suck it in a little bit. And I want it like right either like around my hips or around my butt. So that's what I'm working on with that. I do have, for the sleeves, a 17-inch circular for this and a 17-inch circular for this, and then I have a third one, and I take the third one so that you don't have to constantly do like magic loop or whatever. If you use a separate needle, I'm basically just threading the new needle through, and then I take the other one and I do the other side once, and I just keep going like that as I do my sleeves so that the sleeves come out to be the same length. I do it with all of my stuff. I'm obsessive. I don't like it when one sleeve is longer than the other. If I can just feel it, it drives me nuts and I won't wear it. So this is how I do things, and I will show you that on my podcast next week. But hopefully I can get this bound off, and then we can see what the peace sign really looks when it's on. I'm so excited. I'm also going to start trying to find patterns for the flowers that I want to put on it, because that's something portable that I can take when I'm going to like sit at gymnastics for Franny or something like that. So if you ever have a sweater or something that needs adornments, take them with you when you're sitting and doing stuff at one of your kids' events, because they're small projects. You feel like you can finish. You don't have to count things, you know, like different, like crochet is so much different than knitting, and I would rather crochet at an event than knit. Oh my God, this thing smells so good. I think I'm gonna go back to Sarah and get one to give away on the podcast because it's amazing. And let's see, what brand is it? That's the box here. So if anyone wants one, I'll try to link it in the down bar there. It's a ceramic diffuser ornament, and let me tell you, get the peppermint. Okay, so I started this project, I don't know when, like a while ago for Franny. She wanted a rainbow blanket. And I love the way it's coming out. I mean, it's really great, right? This is great. I love this. Now, it's a pattern, I think it's called the Daphne Afghan by Toni Lipsey. And it's a free pattern, though I think you can pay for it if you want to, and I'm going to buy it because it was really great and I can buy it, and so I should. You know, when things are free, it's great if, you know, so a lot of older people don't know how to put their credit cards on the internet and safely and things like that. So free patterns are wonderful. But if you can pay the designer, you should. And I think that the fact that she gave this away and has tutorials for it is like me robbing her. I feel like I'm robbing her. So I'm going to go and pay her for it. But I'm using, I can't even remember the name of this yarn, but it is in a prior podcast. I'll put it in the down bar here. God, why can't I remember anything? Why? Because it's late. Because I had lived a whole day already and I decided to do this. It's really late. My kids are sleeping. My husband's not working up here, and it's the only time I can get up here. And I'm just waiting for more ants to come out. But I think the peppermint's doing the trick because I don't see anything. Yeah. So anyway, winning. Okay, so you basically make 4 triangles of this, and then you seam them together. Now, I bought red to seam them together. I don't know if that's going to kind of look like a giant X marks the spot. I don't know. Franny will love it no matter what. Oh, no, I didn't buy the red. I bought a gray to seam it together. So I'm going to seam it together with a gray, right? And then the border is red. That'll look nice. Okay. So anyway, I only made 3 panels. I never made the 4th one, which is so humongously stupid. I mean, when you're going hardcore and you've made 3 panels of something, like, make the 4th one. I don't even understand myself. Sometimes I'm mad because I buy this beautiful materials. I spend all this money on materials, and then I just walk away from it. And what is that? Why do we do that? You know, it's like sometimes I'm knitting and I'm like thinking, oh, I wish I was doing a different project. I'm sick of this project. And then I'm thinking, like, you love knitting. You're knitting right now. It doesn't matter if you're using a different color yarn. It doesn't matter if you're using different needles. Like, you love knitting. You love the stitches. So just enjoy it. And I have to literally tell myself that so that I don't start something new. You guys know I've been talking about my portage cardigan for like years. I mean, that's ridiculous. I started that cardigan when I was in the hospital with Sammy. Like, why? Sammy's turning 4 this summer. That's ridiculous. I honestly don't even think it fits me anymore because the size I chose, I remember I was pregnant when I chose the size and I was like, oh, I'll be smaller. No, no. So I don't know. I'm still going to finish it, but again, that's something that is on the back burner. There's other stuff that's closer. Like this is close. Franny's birthday is mid-April, so I thought maybe I would finish this and give it to her for her birthday. I hope I can get it done. We'll see. I don't know. I'll do my best. So something I bought that I don't think I showed you guys. Stitch Bitch Basics. Stitch Bitch Basics. And it's on Etsy. And I'm trying to learn how to do stitching better. So I don't know where the loop went though. Damn it. Oh, it's probably over there. I'm trying to learn how to do cross-stitching. We've been not cross-stitching, embroidery. We've been talking about that for a while. And I always think if you're going to learn something new, instead of like sitting there, I mean, you can sit there and you can learn the basics and you can be bored by it. Or you can just jump in and try to make the thing you want. And it won't be perfect, but it'll be your first project and you'll have an actual project that's done. I bought this. It's an RBG Embroidery. And I bought it on Etsy, and it came with everything that you need in order to make it. And it's, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. And I really need to look it up to make sure that that quote is hers. Sometimes they attribute other people's quotes to her, which is kind of crappy. Like, if you're gonna write something with a quote, make sure it's from that person, right? Anyway, so this is actually the paper that you embroider on. And you put this on the cloth. So here's the cloth, and here's the sticker, and you put it in the ring, and you embroider on all of this. And then I believe what you do is, see, it says get your canvas ready, cut the pattern where indicated by dotted lines. Okay, so it has the dotted lines here. And then it says remove backing from pattern fabric sheet. It's like a sticker. Design center design on the 10 by 10 cotton, sticky side down. Press down to ensure pattern is well attached to the cotton. Attach hoop to the fabric and start stitching. This pattern will dissolve with cold water. So when you're done with it, you put the whole thing in cold water. I know, it's like so nerve-wracking, like you've worked on this thing, but it works. This stuff dissolves. And then you're just left with the stitch on your cotton. So I think that's kind of brilliant, and I'm really excited to try it. And it comes with all of the threads that you need to do it. Obviously, you can substitute them if you want, because some of these are pretty bland, so I may substitute them with some that I have on my own. And then it gives you literally like all of this on how to do the stitches, on where to put the stitches, where to put what color. It's incredibly thorough, and at the end it's going to look like this. And I just thought it was like a really cool thing. I'm trying to make things that are like timeless, that my kids will keep forever. And like, as much as I like, you know, knitting shawls and knitting, you know, sweaters, they don't last forever. Though my mother does have one that her great aunt stitched in the 1950s, I think. That is really an argument for using rustic wools like Lopi, because they stay forever. If you can keep moths away from them, it'll be perfect forever. Like literally, they could bury you with it. If they dug you up in thousands of years, that sweater would probably look great. Anyway, back to RBG. So I have this, and I'm going to replace the colors on this, and I'm going to start learning how to stitch. And, you know, I've done some things, but nothing substantial. But my mother made these amazing things when my sister and I were babies that are in the girls' rooms. And I just, you know, I want to contribute that. I think every generation should just add something. And as we creative women go on, you can call on your ancestors anytime you need them, because all of their handiwork will be around you. And I think that's so great. I was cleaning a bit up here the other day, and I found my grandmother's project. There was a project that was sitting next to her chair, like when she died. My sister handed it to me and said, oh, here, can you finish this? I couldn't ever bring myself to do it because I didn't want to work on it. So I put it in a plastic bag, and every time I miss her, I can smell her in that bag. Like, I can smell her perfume, and, you know, and her hand creams and things, because she was working on it. And so I literally do. I put my face in the bag. I have my dad's winter coat. I put my face in his winter coat when I miss him. Like, I'm wacko like that, but I think smells bring us to another time, and sometimes they help us heal our heart. So that's what I do. Andy found me in the basement the other day crying into my dad's jacket. Awesome. Oh my God, it smells so good up here. I can't. Oh, I love it. I will beat you, you little motherfuckers. The last thing that I have to show you guys is this book I got. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Crystals. And you guys know that I'm not really religious. I'm not super spiritual. I'm just not like that. I'm more of a scientifically minded person, but I do feel things, you know. The other day I was coming up the stairs, and my right ankle clicked every other step. And that was my dad. Every time he went upstairs, it went like, you know, hit the stair, click, hit the stair, click, hit the stair, click. And my legs did that. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this a sign? Because never in my life did my ankles click before. So, and there are, you know, other things like when I sleep in the girls' room at night, the street light comes into their window, and the way that it goes around their curtains, it makes an L on the wall. And it was really creepy because I hadn't noticed it till like after my dad died, and his name was Lou. And I just, every other night or every night here and there, when I'm really upset, the L appears on the wall and it like creeps me out. So, you know, like I believe there's got to be something out there. I don't care to define it because I don't think that my theory over what it is better than anyone else's. And so many people fight over religion. You know, and it's a personal thing. It's seeping way too much into our government right now. You know, and the separation of church and state is really, really important. Otherwise, some people have more rights in this country than others, and that's not the way that this country was supposed to be created. So, as much as I respect people that are religious, I am not, and I don't want it in my public schools, and I don't want it in anything. Because it's really just a faith. It's not anything that's been proven, and I have no problem with people having their own faith, but they don't have to force me to subscribe to it. So that is my view. Separation of church and state, I think, is integral to a thriving democracy. But back to my crystals, I do believe there is some sort of a force out there. There's got to be, because sometimes like things happen that are just unexplainable, and they've got to be coming from like another plane or something. I do believe that there's a lot of science out there that we have not discovered yet. I really think that like we have maybe discovered like 0.5% of everything out there is to discover. And so I like crystals. I like feeling the energy from the earth, and I like, you know, I'm earthy like that. I love my gardening. I like watching things grow. Like, it's amazing that you can put this little dormant seed in some dirt, right? And water it, and it grows, and it will give you food. Like, that's miraculous, like amazing, right? So a lot of these stones, they say, have healing properties. Maybe it's like bullshit. Maybe it's a placebo. But if it makes you feel better, then it's real. So I was looking through it because I used to make jewelry, and I have a lot of these stones, but as beads. And every time I'm somewhere and I see a stone somewhere, like, I'm like, that's a pretty, pretty stone. Ever since I was little, I've loved geology and stones. And so I buy them, and my girls like to collect them too. And I love them. So I don't think I have any up here, but downstairs I do. I have a lot. I buy a lot of obelisks, and it doesn't matter what stone it is. If it's beautiful, I think it's grounding, and I like having it around. I want to start making stitch markers, and it's one of the reasons that I'm trying to get my life in order and trying to get the house clean, is because I would like to start doing something to contribute to my household, even if it's just making my own spending money so I don't have to take it out of the pot. You know, I would like to contribute, and I have thousands of beautiful high quality beads, like amethysts and just beautiful things. And I think that I could really turn them into beautiful, like, stitch markers or progress keepers, and just things that I hope you will love. And I know I've been talking about this for a while, but it's something I want to do. So I bought this beginner's guide to crystals because I'd like to sell them in sets according to what that rock does. So if I want to sell like a pink tourmaline set, I want you to know like what properties pink tourmaline has. And here it says that their chakra is the heart, and their common origins are Brazil, Mozambique, and Nigeria. They place over the heart chakra for a powerful dose of loving energy. And like, sometimes we need that. So I thought, you know, if we can learn a little bit about the crystals, it might be fun to take the crystals, which are a healing entity, I believe, in the world, and put them with knitting, which I believe is also a healing entity of the world. And, you know, yarn is made out of wool, which is natural. Stones are made of the earth. And we put these things together, they can be more powerful. So I thought that was like a really pretty idea. And I'm going to try to get that off the ground late summer. So there used to be a store over here. It was called Just Beat It. And it was a bead store. And it was run by these two they weren't old. They were like late middle age, let's say, maybe like early 60s. And you could tell that these people were like children of the 70s. They were like hippies. You'd walk in, the guy would be like, hey. I was like, hey. And then they closed because they retired, and their children didn't want to take over the store. But I would buy these beautiful like lengths of beads, and they're really pretty stones. And this is fire agate. And isn't that just gorgeous? I mean, look at that. They're beautiful. The pink, I mean, all the pinks are different. Look at that. And so I just thought, like, I'm not going to use this, obviously. It's way too heavy to be a stitch marker. But the stones are so beautiful, and I just love holding them and looking at them, and I thought it'd be really nice to just couple them with our knitting. So that's what I'm going to be doing. What else do I have? Oh, let me show you this. This is pink opal. Let's see. This is a necklace I made a long time ago. I don't necessarily like the necklace, but I love these beads. These are pink opal. I think it's not coming out on the screen very well, but there you go. You can see them from farther away better. But it's this really, really milky, soft pink. And I made this necklace like years and years ago. I don't really like the way it lays. I'll probably adjust it, but I wore it a lot, and they feel really nice. And I always found myself like playing with it, like the tactile nature of it. Was very calming, and so I really, really like. You guys are seeing like the hippie side of me today. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I don't know if I'll start an actual new business or I'll just see how it goes. But I don't know. I kind of like Gemma Darling Designs was my old business, and I did like graphic arts for an autism foundation, and I did high-end wedding invitations for a lot of my friends. I had apprenticed with someone who really makes beautiful wedding invitations. I loved working with her. But I can't do what she could do. So I would do like ones that were a little bit lower end than hers for a lot of my friends' weddings, and that was fun, except your friends want things at wholesale and then you don't make any money. But some of my friends would be like, oh, I don't think I'm going to spend money on the invitations. And I'd be like, I'll do them as your gift. Because I was like broke, but I had paper. So I would like, and I'd sit there with a tweezer and like put the hot fix Swarovski crystals. They are the Swarovskis that are like cut in half, and they have a stickum on the back, but you have to heat them up. So I had this tiny little, it was a hair straightener for my bangs. It was super little, and I would just put the hot fix on there to heat up, and I'd take a tweezer and I'd put them on their invitations. It would take me days. I didn't mind. Good music. I was watching Breaking Bad. It was great. So I really like to have like a clean space where I'm creating, and I've just, ever since I had kids, and I just hoard stuff to make stuff with, and I don't actually make it because I don't have enough time. I'm trying to get my life in order now. So that's what's been going on. I guess that's it, guys. I'm trying to keep these podcasts short and sweet. So that's what I've been doing. I'm just going to work on my my Stitch Bitch basics. I'm going to make my thing. I'll get that started. I want to start the triangle on this. I'm going to get my cardigan done. And yeah, who's going to take care of my children while I'm doing all this? I don't know. But I just want to thank you all for like watching my vlogs. You guys have really like shown up, and I didn't know if I'd be putting out too much content. So you guys let me know in the notes, you know, if I should do maybe one vlog a week with a podcast, or like a podcast every 2 weeks. Like, you guys just let me know how you're feeling about everything as we progress. We're going to do some special episodes. I have this beautiful marsala mushroom salad that I want to show you guys how to make. We're going to be doing some makeovers. We're going to be planning the basement construction. We have to do construction in the basement. So we're going to be planning that. We're going to be going to tile stores. We're going to be doing a lot of that. So I'm just going to take you guys along with me and watch what you'd like to watch, and tell all your friends. And, you know, I'm not one of those people that really cares if I have a ton of hits on my uploads, or if I have a ton of followers. I just sincerely enjoy all of you. The comments that you leave are super sweet. I love hearing stories. I always put a heart because I don't always get time to like respond to everyone, but it means I've read it and I enjoyed your comments. So thank you so much. I will see you guys next week with another podcast. We're going to try to do it like a formal podcast like this, and then next week will be like a special episode, and then so we're going to go opposites like that. So, but before I go, I just want to thank you all who bought and donated Girl Scout cookies. You guys are awesome. The link will be down below if you'd like to order anything. They're having a shortage though, so I don't even know what's going on right now. Little Brownie in Kentucky is the facility that makes the Girl Scout cookies for, I believe, the Northeast, and they had some severe weather and they're not able to like fill the order. So we have about 40 days left in Girl Scout cookie season, and a lot of the Girl Scout troops make money. They go hard. I mean, they make thousands of dollars on these cookies, and we were trying. I wanted to sell 2,000 boxes. I think we're about 1,400, but I wanted to sell 2,000 because you get about $1 a box, like 90 cents a box. That's how much the troop gets. I know it's really like robbery. But I wanted to make about $1,800 to $2,000 for the troop, so we had money to do stuff, because most of the meetings every other week, I buy all the stuff for. And I don't mind doing it, but it's also not fair. So I feel like when there's an opportunity to make money, we should stuff our bank account. So that's what I was doing for the girls. And now the service unit doesn't think it's going to be able, it'll fill all the orders. Everyone who ordered, you guys are getting your cookies. But in the, like from today on, today's March 7th. Is today March 7th? I think so. Is it? Yes. Oh, Duolingo's mad at me. I have to do my Italian. So I don't think I can push the link anymore, because I think they're only selling like, well, all right, if you guys want thin mints are fine. You can order thin mints. But the other ones, I don't know if they're going to fill the order. So when you check out, if you do want to check out, at the bottom, it'll ask you, if we can't fill something in your order, would you like it to be canceled or would you like it to be donated? Always hit canceled. Otherwise, they will just take the money and not refund you if they can't fill a box. So so please hit that. If you'd like to go on there and just donate to our troop, that's wonderful also. The boxes will go to a charity. But again, I just don't know what they're going to be able to do. So I will keep you guys updated, and thank you to all who have ordered. Franny is so excited, you guys. She loved doing that video last week. And I guess I'll leave you guys here. I'm going to drink the rest of my Yeti, take off this really hot sweater, and I'm going to fill this attic with peppermint peace signs, and I will see you guys next time, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and guys, be the change that you want to see in the world. Do it. Do it now. What are you waiting for?